What's up, everybody? We are back once again. It's your boy Mclinn. Extending this video tutorial, we're up to number 9 from my book of favorite quotes. My book of favorite quotes, quote number 9. If you're just seeing this for the first time and you want to catch up, there's links on the YouTube channel and on the website lifestrategymeetup.com where you can get through the first 8. If you don't have the book, you can get it at Amazon.com. It's roughly $10, $11, and 10% of the proceeds go to buying socks and toiletries for families that are less fortunate, individuals that are less fortunate than us. So let's move, man. Really quickly, let's go through the first 8. 1, only 2 reasons why someone doesn't make it: either you quit or you die, by Mclinn. Number 2, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do, by Bruce Lee. Number 3, the person who believes they can and the person who believes they can't are both right, by Confucius. Number 4, no matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you are not skilled, if you don't study, if you don't dedicate yourself to being better every single day, by Will Smith. Number 5, become the change you want to see in the world, by Mahatma Gandhi. Number 6, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by how well it can climb a tree, it will spend the rest of its life believing it is stupid, by Albert Einstein. Number 7, don't be afraid of sharing your vulnerabilities. Vulnerability doesn't make you weak, it makes you accessible. Know that your vulnerability can be your strength, by Keith Ferrazzi. Number 8, letting go and giving up doesn't always mean you are weak. Sometimes it means you are strong enough to let go. And that is Unknown, by Unknown. Number 9, a belief is only a thought I keep thinking. A belief is only a thought I keep thinking. That's number 9. And I got that from Abraham Hicks. A belief is only a thought I keep thinking. Okay, we're going to read. We have heard it every way possible. Thoughts become things. As a man thinketh, so shall it be. Ask and it is given. I could go on, but what really does this mean? How does one create a reality by the thoughts we think? Here is the trap. We think there are so many things that we can control that are actually out of our control, and we tend to end up with a mixed result. I proclaim that we only try to control what we ultimately can control, and that is the thoughts that we think. This includes the thoughts that we think about everything going on inside of us and outside of us. It is useless to try to control external conditions. Once we realize that the world is actually in a perfect balance with equal parts of everything, now it only comes down to what you choose to focus your attention on. By definition, a belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. So it goes to show, if I believe that I am unworthy of love for whatever reason, and that this is the thought I continue to think, then by universal law, that will become my reality. I will only attract and accept situations that prove that to be true. So how do we change this? Change the thought. What if I began to believe that I am worthy of love and believe that statement to be true and began to express it inside out? Then by universal law, I will attract and accept only situations that fall in line with that reality. Realize the universe is neutral. It will give you more of whatever you think about with feeling. Whatever your thoughts are on any subject, all you have to do is look at the results you get. That is the indicator of what you truly believe, no matter what is coming out of your mouth. And the coolest part about it is, wherever you are in your current condition, you can change it to something else because you created where you are now. I agree that external conditions can be very powerful. We are bombarded every minute of the day about what to think, what to feel, how to dress, to be in fear, etc. Just know that if you don't control your vibration, something or someone else will. It is a muscle that you can develop to decide how you want to feel regardless of conditions. I choose joy and happiness no matter what is going on with me at any given time. I set an intention for each day because I know my thoughts create my reality. A thought that I carried for many years that I decided to change was, I'm going to die young. I believe this thought because there is a history of heart disease in my family. My dad died at 49 years old. His mom and father both died early. My mom's dad died young, and her brother died in his 20s as well. I accepted this reality as my truth. So, being 19 when my dad died, I began to live my life as if I was going to die young. I didn't care about the foods I ate, how much alcohol I drank, or reckless behavior when it came to relationships and so on. It wasn't until I began to study people like Dr. Caroline Fuqua, Michael Beckwith, and Abraham Hicks that I learned of universal law, primarily the law of mentalism, which states everything you perceive is a witness to the thought system you want to be true. In essence, if I continue to believe that I would die young based on factors I call reality, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. My desired truth is I want to live a long and fruitful life. So I began to take active steps that would contribute to that. I began to care about what I ate. I studied how the body functions. I cut out hard liquor, and I continued to exercise. I read motivational books, listened to inspirational audio. I set goals, and I made plans beyond the age of my father. Most importantly, I changed the way I spoke about it. I spoke life into my future with encouraging words as opposed to what I did before, which spoke death and discouraging words. My attitude changed. My experiences changed. People received me more positively and it began to inspire others to do it as well. Now, how fast can someone change their beliefs? It can be spontaneous for some, but for most, it needs to be a gradual reversal. They more than likely have too much momentum going in an opposing direction. For example, if a car is going 120 miles in one direction and you realize it is an undesired direction, to try to turn the car right around in the moment for some will be disastrous. It is easier to slow the car down, come to a stop, turn the car around, and start back in the desired direction, gaining new momentum. It was a gradual change for me in the beginning, but because of practice, I developed a muscle to turn a limiting thought into an unlimited thought immediately. Take the time to write down how you feel about different subjects, gauging where you are. Be totally honest with yourself without judgment. Check them with your results. If you don't like where you are, write down what you desire to believe instead and start becoming that by example. Try them out and chart your feedback. Be your own guide. What you need to live a fulfilled life is already inside of you right now. Okay, that is number 9. Once again, number 9 is a belief is only a thought that I keep thinking. And that is by Abraham Hicks. Let's reflect on that. A belief is only a thought that I keep thinking. When you think about it, like, there are no real concrete beliefs that are universal. In the sense of society will tell us, what to believe. Our parents may tell us what to believe. Our school system may tell us what to believe. And because we don't really have an opinion about certain things, we will accept that as fact or truth or belief or experiences that we have over and over. We will start to accept those as truths. But I think what we have to realize is everything is working inside out, right? So no matter what is happening on the outside, if I can learn to accept that it's starting for me on the inside, that's when we can start to learn how to reverse the results that we're getting, okay? So I carry the belief that, based on what I would say are real experiences, that good women are hard to find. And that was the thought that I would repeat to myself over and over. And I could justify it by the people that I met, the places that I was hanging out, and The experiences that was happening was validating that thought or that belief, right? A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over. So it wasn't until I had a conversation with my cousin who was asking me about relationships, and I was like, cousin, it's just, good women are hard to find. And she was like, yeah, because that's what you keep saying. And it stumped me. I was like, she goes, what if you said something different? What if you said good women are everywhere based on, what I believe to be a good woman, okay? Because there is no universal answer for what a good woman is. It's different for each man, or each individual based on any subject for that matter. Um, so she challenged me to write down what I thought about relationships and be totally honest with myself and not judge the answers that was coming out. And she said, right on one side of the page, what you actually think, and then on another side of the page, write down what you would like it to be. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. And I started, wrote relationships down on a piece of paper. And it's important to write the stuff down because it gets out of your head and on a piece of paper. Now it's real because you're looking at it. So I'm writing about relationships, and it started off kind of rosy, and relationships are cool, and you got somebody to hang out with, and you know have a family with, what I mean, like it started out that, and then as I looking at my list, a thought came to my mind was relationships are restrictive. So I was like, okay, let me write that down. Then it was like, you know, the idea of marriage is a business contract. I wrote that down. Then it was like, you know, you got to be totally vulnerable in a relationship. And I didn't really like that. I was like, I want to keep a little small piece for myself. Right? So I'm starting to write, these things down. And it was more, but you kind of get the idea. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, no wonder I'm having these experiences because this is how I view relationships. And it was like on the other side of the page, I wrote down what I want my relationship to look like. So basically, I took all of the things that I consider negative and flipped them around. So the idea of feeling restricted in a relationship, I was like, okay, well, what do I want? Well, I want freedom. Yeah, that feels good. Like I want to be able to not feel closed in. Like I wanna feel free. Um, I want to be 100% vulnerable. I want to have a family. I want to build a relationship. I want to have that partner. You know what I mean? Like, so all of that stuff that felt good, I was like, okay. And then I realized through my studies that in order to have those things that I'm saying I want, I have to become them first. So I have to give what I want in a relationship, and then by universal law, the law of attraction, that's the energy that I'm giving off, I will start to attract those type of conditions back. And lo and behold, it wasn't no real long time. I started to meet what I would say were higher quality people, right? So everybody's individual and what their definition is of that. Um, and I took the pressure off of it. I stopped looking at every woman that I was meeting as if she needed to be the one, right? So I was just like, you know what? I just want to have good conversations, right? So I started going to different places um, and having conversations and just being more open and trying to become those things that I said I wanted in a relationship. And lo and behold, I started seeing a difference. Like it was almost immediate. And I live in California, Los Angeles, where people complain about people all day, every day out here. We fake and phony and Hollywood this and entertainment that. And I've met a lot of really solid women over the last 2 or 3 years. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're supposed to be in a long-term relationship with, you know what I mean? Like it's a process of me becoming, and then so my my experiences are becoming what I ultimately want them to see. Like it's a never ending um, cycle. Like I'm continually trying to improve. So as I become better at what I'm saying I want to see, then I will attract, closer to what I'm saying that I feel like I deserve, because I'm willing to give it. Um, so a belief is only a thought that we continue to think over and over. Now, we got to have some discernment because sometimes we're not in alignment. Sometimes we're saying something, and unbeknownst to us, we're actually doing something different. So, if you're ever confused about what you believe, all you have to do is look at your results. So, I can say, I want to live a long, healthy life beyond 49. I can say that. What are my results? My results show me that, you know, I'm not eating well, I'm not exercising, drinking too much, um, not taking care of my spirit, my mind, my body. Um, um, a lot of those things in that lane. And so my results aren't demonstrating to me that I believe what I'm saying. And that's what we come across a lot, in all kind of areas, but I'm, spotlighting relationships, is a lot of people talk a good game, right? This is what I believe, this, and so it's on the other person who's interacting, that is aware or conscious of what's going on, to pay more attention to what people do, because what they do is what they really believe, not what they say. And a lot of women are auditory, like you guys like to hear somebody say things, and sometimes you'll turn the blind eye to what people are actually doing. And what I try to do is, I'm probably guilty of saying less and doing more. And I get how, that's a challenge for me, because most women are usually want to hear, where I'm more visual. I like to see. So as I continue to evolve, my experiences will evolve as well. Um, so yeah, I want to challenge you to, if we're talking about money, I realized that I was carrying a poverty consciousness about money. I was saying one thing about money, like I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, but then my behavior didn't support what I was saying. My behavior was, rich people are greedy, right? The government is greedy, the system is greedy, like everything is like equating to money as greedy. So it's like, well, how you want to be rich and you look at rich people like they're greedy? So I needed to shift how I looked at being wealthy and being rich. Not everybody who's rich is greedy. So I need to turn my point of attraction away from those negative opposing thoughts that are getting in the way or contradictory to what I was saying I wanted. So it doesn't matter what the subject is, if it's money, if it's relationships, if it's your physical fitness, if it's your career, whatever it is, how do you view those things in relationship to what is actually happening? So what is actually happening is truly what you believe, no matter what you're saying. Me, you, everybody. So take out a piece of paper. Don't be afraid to write down what you actually think about whatever the subject is, right? On one side of the piece of paper, on the other side of the paper, write down what you would like to see. And look how what you actually think about it and what you would like to see, if they're in alignment, great. Keep doing what you're doing. For me, I wasn't in alignment. I was believing something that was different than what I was saying I wanted to see. So I had opposing energies banging up against each other, and we all know you can't serve two masters. So you can't be, you know, in the presence, you can't be in the light and in the dark at the same time. So I can't believe that relationships are restrictive, and then turn around and say I want a healthy, happy, healthy relationship. Like those two things don't go together. Okay? So a belief is only a thought that you keep thinking. Okay? Write those things down, and once you're done writing, you can keep it. Or what I did was I tore the negative, what I'll call negative energy, off of the page, balled it up, threw it away. I was only going to focus on becoming what I wanted to see, right? So I wanted my beliefs, what I was saying I wanted to see, I wanted that to become my new thought system about, and I did it for all the subjects. I wanted that to become my new thought system, and now putting it and implementing it into action. So now my results. So probably the biggest challenge for me is money. Money, and it is for a lot of people. And like I said, I realized I was carrying a poverty consciousness about money, that I didn't have enough, and if I booked a job, and I was never going to work again, so I need to try to make that money last for a long time. Like, what I mean? It was just a real poverty consciousness. And I've worked really hard to eradicate that, right? So it can be done. So no matter what your obstacle is, take out some paper, write down, what you truly believe. Like, and be honest. Be open and honest with yourself. Write down what you would like to see where you can make your adjustments, and then get rid of what you used to think, the old way of thinking, and only focus on what you want to see for yourself and what you believe you really deserve, because your happiness is available to everybody, and you can have whatever you believe you deserve to have. Okay? It's your boy Brooklyn Mclinn, and I'm out of here. My book of favorite quotes, 30-Day Transformation to Becoming a Better You. Okay? Have a good week. Peace.